Do you remember? This used to be a beautiful land, and for 1,000 years we lived in peace and harmony. But as foretold, the scourge Vardus has returned with an army of monsters and filled the world with ruin and despair. Now, the fate of Radia rests with you. Wake up, champion. Challenge the forces of evil. Bring back hope to our land and claim the Twilight Sword. Do you remember? This used to be a beautiful land, and for 1,000 years we lived in peace and harmony. But as foretold, the scourge Vardus has returned with an army of monsters and filled the world with ruin and despair. Now, the fate of Radia rests with you. Wake up, champion. Challenge the forces of evil. Bring back hope to our land and claim the Twilight Sword. Do you remember? This used to be a beautiful land, and for 1,000 years we lived in peace and harmony. But as foretold, the scourge Vardus has returned with an army of monsters and filled the world with ruin and despair. Now, the fate of Radia rests with you. Wake up, champion. Challenge the forces of evil. Bring back hope to our land and claim the Twilight Sword. Do you remember? This used to be a beautiful land, and for 1,000 years we lived in peace and harmony. But as foretold, the scourge Vardus has returned with an army of monsters and filled the world with ruin and despair. Now, the fate of Radia rests with you. Wake up, champion. Challenge the forces of evil. Bring back hope to our land and claim the Twilight Sword. Do you remember? This used to be a beautiful land, and for 1,000 years we lived in peace and harmony. But as foretold, the scourge Vardus has returned with an army of monsters and filled the world with ruin and despair. Now, the fate of Radia rests with you. Wake up, champion. Challenge the forces of evil. Bring back hope to our land and claim the Twilight Sword.
Ciao a tutti. Hi, welcome back. Today it's a big day today, and hopefully we have managed to fix all the issues, connection issue that we had last time. Today, as you can see, we are here not only with Simone but with Daniela as well.
Yeah, hi.
I wanted to see these.
So we will
Yes.
also talk a little bit about the art, and let me just say that in 20 minutes, when we are halfway from the launch of the campaign, we will also reveal 1, 2, 3 stretch goals. 3. 4 actually, 4 stretch goals. The first 4
Yes,
stretch goals.
in a way.
So, we'll get a bit of an echo. Probably, I hope that this is fixed now because I had the audio opened. But
Let us know if now it's better.
Yes.
The Rico's echo.
Otherwise, it's probably Daniela's
Maybe it's my microphone.
that we have 2 microphones this time.
I'll do this.
So, yeah, let me know if it gets fixed. Otherwise, we'll mute when each other talk. So, big day today because we are finally launching Twilight Sword. Kind of a new experience for us. We are kind of crowdfunding veterans, I believe, at this point. We have run like 15 campaign. I don't know.
Something like that, yes, I think. 13,
Yes.
14, 15, I don't know.
So, so yes, even though we have been doing this quite a lot, still there's a lot of new things this time. This is the first time that we're launching a different system. So a game that it's not based on the director's cut like Household and Outgunned. Also, it's this is going to be the last, of course, crowdfunding of the year for us because we are heading towards the end of the year. So it's there's a lot of special things happening in this campaign. Okay. I think now the audio should be fixed because I have muted Daniela, but let me know if there's still some issues.
Every single time, it's a surprise. Yes, that upgrading and changing stuff. So every single time when we sit here and try to, oh, thank you. It seems it's fixed, and we try to have everything ready for a live stream. Something is slightly different than the time before. So,
Yes.
Who knows?
Playing a little bit with microphones and cameras these days. So we are launching in. I'll be constantly checking on the time, and we are launching in 49 minutes.
Yes.
So it's going to be soon. As I said, in 20 minutes, we will start talking about stretch goal. But first, let's talk a little bit about the game in general. And of course, if you have any question or there's something that you want to ask to us or to Daniela, since she's more, rare to find in one of these live stream. So yeah, shoot in the chat. So what's Twilight Sword? Twilight Sword is our personal love letter to a lot of games from our childhood and from our adulthood as well. And especially, of course, Legend of Zelda, and especially Breath of the Wild, but also Final Fantasy. And especially in this game, there is a lot of Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, that sort of stuff. Also, a personal favorite, Wonder Boy in Monsterland, which was kind of my first RPG, if that makes sense. And also Ni no Kuni, which is one of the it's the only, I believe, video game made by Studio Ghibli.
I think so, but they have done a couple.
Yes, two of them. And by the way, I always have trouble saying Studio Ghibli because it's actually pronounced Studio Ghibli, but we always in Italy we say
it's
Ghibli.
True. I didn't know up until now.
I believe
we said Studio Ghibli here in Italy because when we say G and H, for us is G. But I know it changed a lot from place to place.
and I'm 99.9% that it should be pronounced Ghibli. Uh, so thanks, guys, from all the love in the chat. So basically, we play a lot between ourselves. You know, we try different things, and usually we are not playing what you are playing because we are like 1 year ahead. So this project, I believe, started like more than 3 years ago. So this was
Yes,
at the
three
time that
years and a half, I think.
yes, at the time that we were working on Outcand, actually, we started working on this idea of exploring a world, also an idea of having, kind of a more positive vibe that many RPG these days, and also having like a system that could support this idea of traveling to fulfill something. So a travel that it's not meaningless, of course, but also that it's not made just to go from one place to another, and also that it's not just about like how well you will reach your destination or how soon you will reach the destination. But we wanted a game that would revolve around this idea of the travel makes the story because it's what happened in many like Japanese media. Basically, all the shonen think about
Right
One
now,
Piece,
look at Frieren.
Frieren, for example. It's all about traveling, and at a certain point it's almost like Japanese heroes, they travel for no reason. Like it seems like they don't have a job, they're constantly traveling, and they're basically looking for adventure, and we want a game that embodied this, and that's how Twilight Sword was first born. And then of course we got into the system and into the lore, which is, and the art, of course, which is always our like starting point. We always start from the kind of the feeling of the game. We don't start from mechanics. We don't start from lore. Actually, we don't start from heart, but we start with kind of like how do we want people to feel when they finally have this game in their hand. So actually, one of the first things that was born about Twilight Sword was this weird like 2 per 1 format that will open up, you know, in a perfect square, and so from that we started building rules that could fit in a square, and then of course the idea of cards and map cards that you can use to build your world, etc., and everything. We like three flash forward 3 years later, we are here with hopefully a finished product. I don't know, Simone, if you are following the chat, because there's a lot of,
Yes.
as always, there's a lot of things. Sorry, go. If you see my eyes going around, there's a lot of things happening on my computer right now. So I don't always
Someone
see the
called
chat.
it a noble grim. I don't know how well it can fit our idea, but yes, of course, we have a really bright, colorful world, but filled with despair. Hence, it's like the basic mechanics of the game. And also, yes, you are somewhat special. You are a champion. You are extremely powerful and blessed and whatever.
Yeah, it's actually noble bright should be the definition, but noble bright usually it's a bright word and people who have good intentions. In this case, it's kind of a mix because the from our perspective as players, the word is still, World of Radia is still pretty beautiful because it's a green land. There's no technologies and huge metropolis and stuff. So it's still a wonderful world. But from an inside perspective, this world is now filled with despair because there is some evil guy called Vardas that I should have somewhere. The Scourge himself here. Vardas. And Vardas is basically he has taken the Twilight Sword that you can see in his hands from its place. And by removing the Twilight Sword, which is the base of all kind of the elemental spiritual forces of Radia, of our world, he has basically created an unbalance, a sort of unbalance
Yes.
that is
Yes.
destroying the world you live in. Let me see if I can show you all the elements real quick. No, I don't think so. It's things are not working as intended, but we are always ready for this to happen during like launch live stream. But yeah, basically in this game there are 8 different elements. 6 of them are classical, fire, ice, water, whatever, and 2 of them are light and darkness. And where darkness and light meets, then you have the twilight, which is kind of the ninth element, kind of the element that is holding the world together. So that's why by removing the Twilight Sword, you have chaos. Do you want to share any,
About Vardas?
yes, about Vardas? I will.
First, thank you. First of all, it wasn't easy to find a design that was. We wanted to find an iconic design that feels like something you have already seen, but it wasn't. So me and Rico have done a lot of. We have a lot of sketches, a lot of try and error. At the end, we end up with this bat helmet that is a little goofy, but I think at the end the design is both goofy and intimidating. That it's kind of a 90 anime villain should be, I think.
And it's sorry, it's yes, we basically took a bunch of villains, and they all had capes. We're talking about Xeno from Slayers, but also Arles from at least in Italy it's called Arles, but I like from Saint Seiya, and many anime villain have this kind of big shoulder and cape,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know. So we wanted that kind of vibe, but also we wanted an element that was iconic, and the kind of the figure that really drew us in doing Vardas was always the bat. Like the bat for us was this sort of representation of night and evil, and also it felt very 90s as and so we came up with this kind of bat helmet, like he has a bat on his head. It was that was the starting idea, and I believe it actually looks really cool. I want to, if this campaign does well, I will make for myself the Vardas helmet for some convention, because I think it would be cool. As you know, we like doing props for our games. We are already only 39 minutes away. There's 300 people waiting for this campaign, which is a lot. There's also a strong Arthas Warcraft vibe. Yes, of course,
Yes.
Arthas and the Lich King and Frostmourne was kind of one of the first, not inspiration, but first, as we were looking at villains, we decided, okay, Vardas should be a
Big.
knight,
Yeah.
like big, because we started
Yes.
with the idea of Vardas being more,
Something like a priest,
yes,
actually.
more like
First line have, he had a cloak. He has the
a
priest.
scepter. Was kind of a witch king, sorry, a kind of a war,
Warlock.
We
yeah.
want can also be if your skills is skilled. So we wanted a warrior.
And yes, then Arthas was kind of the clue for us that that Vardas would should be a big boy, like,
Yes. Yes.
and it's also a bit taller than you can. I think. I mean, it looks intimidating, but it's also like double the size
It's very, it's
of the
very big.
character.
It's a
Yes,
very big guy. See, um, regarding the top of the castle, it's pretty big.
yes. And Simone, please tell us if there are any questions because I cannot see the chat in real time. So it's
A lot of stuff happening in the chat. I'm trying to take a look at this as well. I agree that there is something about of Meta Knight in this design. It was like the dark evil knight from Kirby game, I think.
okay.
Like the big sword.
You are the
I really
Kirby
love
expert.
only helmet and whatever.
So yes, if you have any question, feel free to hop in, and in like 7 minutes I will start talking about stretch goals because
We are
usually
already asking about possibility to have few supplement for this game. It's a little bit early. Of course, we would love to. It's not a secret that we hope that the game will be successful, and so we will be able to make more supplement. We love our games. We love to follow our games and bring back more and more and more stuff. We always have a lot of things we want to put in the game. So sometimes we got just to say, okay, that's the core experience. A lot of things going on already in 2 books and the starter sets of these campaign, but there's a ton of other ideas that we would love to expand in the future. So who knows? We really, really, really do hope the game itself.
and also we are I can say that we are working on 3 different kind of supplements idea. We have 3 ways to go, and it will also depend on how people feel about the game, how the campaign goes, what we feel like it would help new player the most. And so this is one thing that we usually do when we start developing a game. We have a very solid, usually like very 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 strong idea of what we want to do in the first campaign, and then we got different ideas on how we want to expand the game, and we shape them based on external feedback usually, because what happened is that at first, of course, you have to have a strong, really clear idea of what you are doing, otherwise you wouldn't be able to actually do it and fulfill it. But on after that, then it comes, external perception of what you have done, like people reading and doing their own things. And it's always different from what you expected. Like we always say that the game actually is born in that period after we stop writing and when you start reading and actually playing, because the actual game is not what we put on paper, is what you put on the table or, on your VTT or whatever. But, so that's where most of the inspiration for supplement then come to life.
Yes, no, absolutely. I love the Dragon Quest vibe as well. I'm a really huge Dragon Quest fan of every single. I think I actually finished every single chapter, at least all the chapter I could put my hands on here in Lost Italy. Lots of them are out right now in remaking or whatever. But yes, there's a lot of this as well in Twilight Sword. They want an ocean setting and a train track network. I don't know. There are pretty specific requests, may I say. But who knows what the future will hold. Will be random tables for encounters and events? There will be random tables with a really cool mechanics. We talked about that briefly when we spoke about the cat system involving travels. What happened when you move your group from one section to another or from one region to another? There's random tables involved, let's say.
Yes, and there's also, like at its core, the game is about bringing hope versus the despair that it's already in the world. So what will happen in this world is that the more you advance, the more you complete quests, help people, the more hope you will have, and the more hope meaning that you will lower the level of despair of a certain region, making it both easier and more difficult to travel between regions, because as you lower the despair, you lower the possibility of having negative encounters. But if you do happen to have an encounter, it's going to be a more dangerous one. So the lower the level of despair, the less chances you have of finding, a random encounter, random monster, but the higher level that monster will be. So there is this kind of balance in the travel mechanic and the random table, which I think it's one of my favorite parts of the game, because it's a very small twerk that really makes it meaningful to bring hope, but also makes it dangerous to bring hope, because evil is responding in real time to you.
Of course, you are the cause of raising happiness and hope in the region.
A lot
Getting
of
a
questions.
question about sleeving of the cards. Side of the cards, they are square cards that we use both inside the starter set and in the card chest. Of course, there will be square cards. Yes, it will be possible to put sleeves on them, and the box containing them will be slightly bigger than the card itself, so we should be fine with it. You should be able to put a sleeve and still use 100% of your box to store said cards. At least that's the plan, as always.
And the cards are 8 by 8 centimeter, right?
8 by 8, yes. 8
Yes,
by 8
8 by 8.
centimeters. 80 per 80 millimeters. I think it's how it's called, the standard size. So yes.
Are we doing a solo mode? I've read briefly.
Yes,
I hope I read correctly. Are we doing a solo mode? This game was not intended for a solo mode. We haven't planned, but a lot of people are asking. And we do believe that the beauty of doing a crowdfunding campaign is that we can have this kind of feedback before doing the actual game. So we thought it was a good idea to listen to what you are asking for. So we are working towards it. I cannot say that we will 100% have a solo mode, but we are working to have the solo mode available as a stretch goal. We will see how the campaign goes, if we can do it. We really want to do it, and I think we will put it as a stretch goal. But it will depend. It was not intended, but we are working on it. That's the honest answer.
Let's see. We will discover it, I think, pretty soon.
There's a question about. I can see only bits of the chat about durability, but I
in
can
my chat live stream.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Scroll, but everything is like freeze right now. No.
Trying to read through. Weapons in the game have durability. Would the game work if they are removed? So yes, this game has durability. Just for people who don't know, weapon durability. It means that by using your weapon, you will risk of breaking them. Now, the cool part about this durability system for me is that it's unpredictable, but also you can force your weapon to do more damage, to reroll a damage that you don't like, and you will risk breaking them. So it's not something that is passive, that it's happening to you, which is something that we always do not like. But it's something that the player will have agency on, which is something that we do like. So let's say you have made your best, shot and you rolled a low damage and you really want to try and make things better, you can, stress your weapon and reroll this damage, but you will risk, breaking your weapon in doing so. And That's basically the idea. Also, the reason why we like durability is because it will force player to change their play style and not always rely on their best Swiss stack, like their best moves all the time. That being said, it's not it's not like this is not a survival game where if they keep their weapon they will be like too powerful or hinder the game. So I don't see personally any reason why the game wouldn't work, because I said it's not like it's not like a mechanic that is focused to punish the player. So it's not something that you need for balance. It's just something that we think is fun. But I will also encourage you to try, because I believe that maybe you have tried different games who have done that to emulate this kind of brutality, low resources, but this is not the case. It's something different. So you might want to give it a try.
Yes. In a way, as Rico said, it's a way for us to both acknowledge some particular types of failure when using a weapon, but also resources for champions to actually stress their weapon and do something more. Again, we really like it. So give it a chance when you got the game, because I think it's very, very cool. Someone asked us, and then I think we can shift to what's next, since there's less than 30 minutes to go. Someone somewhere asked us, what's your personal favorite element of this new system or the overall game design?
For me, it's the ways. So
yes,
ways are basically the classes, to speak in classic RPG terms. And what's a way? Basically, when you create your champion, you choose your way, and there is 6 ways: the way of the blade, the magic, the light, the song, the wild, and the shadows. And by choosing your way, you got some +1 to certain ability scores, but mostly you gain access to a list of 8 special feats that you can only have by following that way. So think about, if you play household, it's like household professions. You have your list of professional moves that you can only use if you are part of that profession. So you choose your way, works like a class, and you choose 1 feat. So it's highly customizable from the get-go, because you can choose 6 ways, and in each of the 6 ways have 8 different feats. So lot of different combination. But as you advance, you can choose to either unlock another feat of the same way or to add a second way. So if you're way of the blade, you can have like 2 different special attacks, or at a certain point you can add magic, so you follow the way of the magic blade, or the light blade, or the wild blade. And you understand where this is going, and you have this kind of very gamey experience of mixing these ways and try and looks for special combos that you can only have by adding 2 different ways, which for me is very cool, because I like building my character a little bit, like thinking of combos, but I don't like reading more than 10 pages to do so. Like I don't like too many numbers, so it's good for me. For you, Simone, so I give Daniela a little time to think about it. Are you ready?
I think
Yeah.
Okay.
I really do enjoy. We are never talk about this, but we probably will later. I really do enjoy our idea of crafting, cooking, and brewing, because it's something that I know. I'm sorry. I saw it in your eyes about telling this.
Think faster.
Because it's very on one side, it's a very important part of this type of not only video game, but also, in the anime, there are a lot of, cooking involved and doing stuff. A lot of times, characters in this kind of media do this, but it's also something a little bit harder to come by in a tabletop role-playing game because, there's not an algorithm. You can use too many variables or whatever. I think me and Rico managed to find the sweet spot that it's really, really immediate, but also give you plenty of choice, and if you use it, it's really fun and actually very enjoyable, at least.
And
Right
I want
now.
to add something on it because sometimes people are like, when we say it's very easy, but it also got a little of depth. It's like it's not narrative and whatever. It's like there is a set of rules for cooking and brewing, but also it's very easy, and people are like, how is it possible? That this is easy but deep. And the way we think about it is that it's a simple set of rules that you can apply to brew and cook. And by doing this, we have a huge list of ingredients, and any ingredients can be mixed with any other ingredients and you can come up with recipes. And so it's not like a fixed cooking or brewing system that has a lot of tables, a lot of stuff, but it's a set of rules and a set of ingredients that you are free to use to make what you want. And once you understand the mechanics, so how this ingredients works with them,
Everything becomes immediate.
then you can do, and you don't need the books anymore, because it's such, and I believe that's such probably one of the best pieces of game design that we have done so far, like, because it's such a small amount of rule to open such a huge amount of possibilities, which is again what we're trying to do with this game, because we are lazy guys. We cannot stand.
Yes. We love our perfect
I don't have
rule.
the attention span anymore.
Something is a rule that you can read on the book, and it's so clear, so intuitive that you never even need to read the books a second time. That's our ideal, our platonic ideal of tabletop role-playing rules. At least that's what worked for us. We are trying every time we try to.
You wanted to say crafting as well?
Of course.
You have another idea, or I'll open you.
Okay. Then I like also the mechanic of the despair, that more hope you bring, more the evil, the danger increase. But also I like the discover of the map. I like the part where you discover new places, and it's a thing that if we really had the time to do an entire campaign, I'd really like to do. We could play a lot, but briefly in this period. We have a lot of play tests mostly.
Since we are here, this is the map of the game. So it's going to be a huge map divided into 25 cards if you want to follow. But there will also be rules to use, your own map, your own world if you want. But this is a cool world and a cool map that you can discover tile by tile by turning these cards. But we are 90 minutes away, so so it's time to talk a little bit about the
future,
the stretch goals, what we are ready for you, because it's like we will be live in 90 minutes. So where are the stretch goals? Sorry, guys. Stretch goal number 1. The first stretch goal that you are going to be, it's something weird, but the first stretch goal is always that stretch goal that you are going to unlock. So I always say that when you start creating stretch goal, there's always one stretch goal that is so obvious and so cool, and so that suddenly you want that it goes down and down and down and down, it becomes the first one because you cannot do without. And it's actually a weird thing because it's a font, a writing font. And it's going to be a font to write in Ouran, the language of the aura, or aura, as we say in Italian. So the aura are basically the people who inhabited Radia before Vardas arrived. Now they are almost all extinct. And you see this, frame around us. This is actually a writing that says Twilight Sword on Revit. And the same goes for the layout of the books. You have these frames. They are actually a language. And now you can write your own message in Auran, hopefully, when we unlock this, thanks to the Auran font.
Yeah, this is
A
the
first
first one.
font,
Yeah.
yes.
Actually, it's our first.
So I hope you appreciate the font. I think so. I can only read parts of the chat, so forgive me about that. But
Yes,
yeah, I
they
think
love it. They
it
are
was.
loving it.
I think it was a cool idea, and it's also it's going to be a cool tool for GMs all around, possibly to make their hands
Yeah, you can
out.
build stuff, make props or handouts or whatever you want, and these fonts.
Second stretch goal, we go to something a little bit, more physical than a font. A font, as always, the first stretch goal is usually something that is for everyone, digital, physical, so that everyone can get something. And the second stretch goal will be the dice pouch. Now, the dice pouch is a classic things that we do. This one is particular even for us. In black and white, it doesn't look as cool, but when you unlock, you will see. It's going to be the first one that we have a full print on. The first time that we have a full print on the dice pouch.
I thought we had to change the design.
Yeah, no, it's just black and white because it's locked. So, first time that we're trying something new, usually we do like plain pouches with just the logo. This time we do a lot of these things. We wanted to add a little twist, and we had this idea of trying like a patterned fabric. So it's going to be the first time, and it's our own pattern that you can see around the book. So it's custom made. Definitely, it's going to be a bit of a challenge for us, but we do not like to repeat ourselves too much. So something,
A twist, a little twist.
yes, add a little twist. Now the two stretch goals are going to be, in my opinion, a little bit more interesting, but I will wait another 5 minutes before going, like at the last 10
15
minutes.
minutes to go. In the meantime, I don't know about your lag, but right now, right here, 14 minutes and 15 seconds to the actual launch on the campaign.
There's currently 360 people waiting, and let me say also exactly right now 9,300 people who are following the campaign, which is insane. And just to give you some numbers, in case you like numbers, I don't. Our most followed campaign were exactly 1 year ago, Household Volume 2, and it was like 3,600.
3,600 and something before launch.
Less than 4,000 followers. So having 9,300 followers on a new project is bonkers. It's crazy.
Unbelievable.
And it's such, it's. I know that I always say, I like to say this, that from the outside, maybe things looks easy, because you have done some successful project and this is going to be successful as well, but every time you do something new, it's a challenge. You don't know if this is the time that people are going to say I don't like this, and especially when you do something so different from what you are used to do, there's always a chance that
Yeah, this is nothing like we have done before.
Yes, and eventually we will do something that people don't like. So let's hope it's not today,
But we will like it.
but we will like.
It is,
Yes.
yeah,
So
that's
it's
the
going to
point.
be extra, emotional damage for us.
Yeah, no, it would be devastating. That's the correct word for it.
Yes. Um,
12
before I
minutes.
move before I move to the other stretch goals, let's talk about the early birds.
Sure.
Because we are going to have two early birds this time because we are launching this campaign together with Free League. Thanks, Free League, for having us in the extended family. A huge fan of Free League, and I think you are too. Two early birds. One is going to be our first NML tin of representing, of course, the legendary Twilight Sword, and a set of cards to introduce the Free League's famous Mallard kin, so basically anthropomorphic ducks, as both a playable kin for your champion with their custom fit and also as monsters, as adversaries in this case.
The guy.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
actually it's actually and also I
it's
what I
good.
love about this
Clever.
is that when I say feats or fit as in traits, special ability, talents, call them whatever you want, it's for me it always sounds like fit, like two foot 1 feet, 2 feet. So I can confidently say that Mallard have their own custom
Good
fit,
fit.
and
Yeah.
it fits
Yeah.
And it both
both
ways.
ways. So that's the level of nonsense that we have reached during this live stream. 10 minutes to go. Back to the stretch goal. So we got the Auran font. Um, and by the way, bear with me. I'm going to say the word is called radia. I know for most English speakers it will read like radia, but it's actually called radia. It's pronounced radia. And also the aura or auran will be called aura, not aura. I know it's harder, but this time it's hard for me to speak in English. This time you have to revert to Italian for me. Then we got the dice pouch, the custom dice pouch with the printed fabric. Can I reveal the next? Yes, 10
Yeah,
minutes.
10 minutes. 10 minutes. 10 minutes for 50 seconds to go.
Do you want to present this? It's
It's the one. It's
the aura.
She's
So it's uh so we thought about, a lot of people asked for additional kin. We decided to do a special kin. For us it's actually special. Like, we haven't thought about this from the get-go, to be honest. And we thought about playable aura. You will not meet many aura NPCs because the aura are almost extinct. But there may be, we thought maybe there are some aura champions. And so we decided to turn the aura into a playable kin, an
yes.
extremely cool one.
probably to
More pointy ears, yes. A lot more pointy, I
And
believe you
more
can say.
artwork. As someone is suggesting, of course, more artwork.
There's going to be a lot of artworks during this campaign, definitely. As said, Marcus, we are working towards the solo mode, but it's something that we will have to be sensible about.
Yes.
So we'll see how honestly, we will see how the campaign starts, how the campaign goes, if we can, if we can make it fit into this first crowdfunding, like first, presentation of the project. 8 minutes to go. 400 and something people waiting for this campaign to launch. Foundry model. We don't do foundry models. This is the problem with Two Little Mice. this is all like the core of Two Little Mice. Then there is, of course, Caterina Arzani. Probably Caterina is in the chat right now. Hi, Caterina. Caterina is the fourth
I saw it.
mice. Basically, she's our translator and she fights with us every day. And then there is our graphic designer for Twilight Sword, who is help me, Simone, with the it's no Davide. Ruini, Davide Ruini. Sorry, I always
Really,
forget the
my
surname.
mind is completely blank right now.
Yes, Davide Ruini was doing the layout, and of course John Marron working at the revision, and that's basically it. That's all there is of Two Little Mice. So we only do things that we can do. Foundry we cannot do. We don't play in Foundry. So right now it's not up our alley.
When we play online, we throw
Trust each
physical
other. Yes.
Roll
dice.
and trust each other.
Yes, maybe Free League. That's definitely a possibility. We are talking.
That's I want to stress
Free
this.
League will help
It's
us.
new for us starting a collaboration for links this early in a project. So of course we are very open. We are very happy to see it, to share all Free League's knowledge about a number of things. So never say never. Right now we don't, as you know, we are very clear about everything. We don't have the ability and knowledge to do a foundry, but who knows? Really, who knows? It's not. Who knows?
No,
We
it's,
really don't know
yes.
what will happen in the near future.
The people are asking when do we rest when we do on vacation, and to quote Invincible, who is also a Free League property for that's the neat part. We don't like we do this 24/7. We are extremely lucky to have one of arguably the best jobs in the world, because we actually had to make game and play game as a living. So it's 3-year-old me would be very proud of this, but also a lot of things to do. 5 minutes to go, and it's time to reveal the last stretch goal that is available from the get-go. We will see where we land, and it's going to be something physical, for not only for the highest tier this time, but something for every starter set. And it's going to be champion tokens, so 4 plastic tokens that will be added to every starter set. And champion tokens are, if you're familiar with our game, we like in Household it's called the Joker, in Outgun it's called the Spotlight, but basically it's the hero resource that you can spend to do whatever you want, like to make the narrative go where do you want it. One of our design like philosophy is that players shouldn't always be able to do what they want, but they should be able sometimes to not fail what they feel it's important, because some actions, some scenes, some moments really define their character in their eyes and in the eyes of the others. So we want to give them a way to make the narrative go where they expect, and not fail just for tough luck. So with like this kind of resource and the champion token. Good thing about champion token, you can earn them by role playing in a very cool and very emotional way, but you can also get them, part that everyone dislike, by spending hope. And that means that if you really need a champion token and you don't have it, but you need it to save someone to do something and you really want to do it, you can lower your hope to achieve one, and that means that you will forever lower your maximum cap of advantage advancement, which is very, very a huge sacrifice to do, but will also
I mean,
make
you are a
this
champion, you are a hero. When you sacrifice something, you really to want it and to be ready to put everything at stake. And what's more at stake for a role-playing game and
then
players than
advancement.
maximum advancement from the game? It's much more, heavy than, your character dies. Every character dies, but you are foregoing the idea of becoming more powerful in order to achieve something really, really important right now.
So I hope you like the idea, but I know it doesn't matter how well we sell this idea. People don't like the idea of giving up advancement for a champion, but there are also other ways that you can get the token, so everybody wins.
2 minutes remaining. It's time for us to start saying goodbyes because, as always, if we do everything, if we did everything right, the campaign will automatically launch in exactly 1 minute and 40 seconds. And so, as every single time, we prefer to say goodbyes right now, leaving you to see the wonderful campaign page. We are very proud of it, I must say. Full of stuff, very colorful, full of art, etc. And we will be working tirelessly behind the scene to check everything that's going on and to see where this campaign wants to go.
500 people waiting, exactly 1 minute and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. 59 seconds to go. It's about time that we close this live stream, I believe. Thank you guys. Ciao a tutti, grazie ragazzi anche per gli italiani che ci stanno seguendo in inglese con il nostro pessimo accento, vi vogliamo bene. Thank you everyone for staying with us and to help us, ease a little bit of the stress.
That's not.
A lot of stress when you are launching a campaign 3 years in the making. Do you want to say something?
No,
Sorry
thank
that I
you
have to-
guys. We really appreciate it, and it's always amazing to see you.
Thanks, guys. 20 seconds to go. We will leave you with some music, and the campaign will be live in 20 seconds. Ciao.
Do you remember? This used to be a beautiful land, and for 1,000 years we lived in peace and harmony. But as foretold, the scourge Vardus has returned with an army of monsters and filled the world with ruin and despair. Now, the fate of Radia rests with you. Wake up, champion. Challenge the forces of evil. Bring back hope to our land and claim the Twilight Sword.